1847 was probably the worst single year in Irish history. It's known as Black 47 because it was the year in which the impact of the blight, the mould that blackened and killed the potato crop, the year in which the impact of that crop failure really began to tear Ireland apart. The statistics are mind-bending. Over 400,000 Irish men, women and children died of disease or starvation in 1847 alone. Another 250,000 fled, primarily to Britain and North America. What happened in Ireland during the 1840s was shocking and heartbreaking, and the way that politicians dealt with the crisis continues to stir emotions to this day. However, away from the horror of what happened and who was to blame, there was another side of life that arose during the time of the Great Hunger that deserves much more attention from mankind as it grapples with the relentless curse of the COVID-19 pandemic today. I refer to the extraordinary compassion and generosity shown by humans all across the world when they learned of the dreadful ordeal that the Irish people were enduring in the late 1840s. And I would urge you to bear in mind that there are still people alive today whose grandparents were children, if not teenagers, in the 1840s. There are manifold examples of kind-heartedness and incredible benevolence during the time of the Great Hunger. Ben Forbes, a Boston merchant who persuaded the US Navy to lend him a warship that was then loaded up with relief supplies on St. Patrick's Day 1847, and that Ben Forbes then sailed from Boston to County Cork with 800 tons of food and clothing for the beleaguered Irish. Or what of Rodney Baxter of Cape Cod, who sailed a schooner laden with corn and flour all the way across the storm-tossed waters of the Atlantic to the Irish port of Sligo. Or Alexis Soyer, the French celebrity chef who set up soup kitchens in Dublin, helping to feed 5,000 people every day. Or Cassandra Hand, the wife of an English clergyman who moved to Clones, County Monaghan in 1847 and set up a lace manufacturing business that enabled at least 1,500 hitherto destitute women to earn a respectable living. These are just some instances of the exceptional charity and philanthropy that was generated during the crisis that hit Ireland all those decades ago. But the standout episode is one which has come full circle in recent weeks. On the 23rd of March 1847, a guy called William Armstrong invited the principal residents of Scullyville, Oklahoma to his home and asked them to contribute to a fund for the relief of the starving poor of Ireland, the country in which William Armstrong's father was born. Money was received from a number of missionaries and traders, but by far the most remarkable contribution came from the chiefs of the Choctaw Nation. The $170 they donated caught the attention of the media even then, as those in charge of distributing relief supplies applauded this most cheerful aid from the children of the forest, our red brethren of the Choctaw Nation. In May 2020, 173 years after that momentous gathering in Oklahoma, the Choctaws' generosity returned to the news when it emerged that over 20,000 Irish men and women had contributed to various COVID-19 relief funds for the Navajo and Hopi nations, raising over $4 million to date. The comments alongside these donations underlines that for most Irish donors, this is a straight-up payback to the wider American Indian community for the generosity the Choctaw showed in 1847. And not surprisingly, that story has received a lot of media attention because there is a beautiful circular serendipity about it all. But make no mistake, those donations are very much needed. The Navajo Nation, which predominates in Utah, New Mexico and Arizona, now has the highest per capita COVID-19 infection rate in the United States. They need all the help they can get. So please go and visit www.navajo.fund, that's F-U-N-D, navajo.fund, Or if your inclination is to help people in Ireland, then I would draw your attention to goodgrub.ie. It's a fabulous initiative that has been delivering nutritious fruit and vegetable parcels to thousands of disadvantaged children and younger people all across Ireland. There's no profit here for anyone involved. It's straight up kindness, helping people out. And there's a lot of very good food producers and talented chefs and other brilliant minds involved in making goodgrub.ie work. But to make it work, they do need donations. So please, if you are able to give any help at all during these difficult days, then please head to goodgrub.ie. And when our descendants in the generations to come look back at our world today and see how we behaved during the pandemic, perhaps the kindness and humanity that we have shown to those in need will inspire them to act in a similar manner.